Why I think Tesla's market cap will pass up Apple's market cap in the next 10 years. What is Moore's Law? And why is it crucial that every Tesla investor understands Moore's Law? What is disruption? And why is it crucial that every Tesla investor understands disruption? We won't talk about disruption much today, but soon. How did Tesla's stock do today? And was our prediction dead shot on? Today, episode 5 of Dead Shot Investor.
I don't even know how much I really made. I forgot, it's a lie. Fuck that, never mind what I got. Came up, that's all me for real.
Market cap is the total number of outstanding shares times the share price right now. Tesla's market cap is $52 billion. Apple's market cap is $882 billion. I predict Apple's market cap will go up over the next 10 years. I also predict that by approximately 2030, Tesla will have a larger market cap than Apple. I believe Tesla's market cap is going to explode in much the same way that Amazon's market cap exploded. And if I'm right, it will inevitably surpass Apple's. How? Exponential technologies, aka Moore's Law. There's a great speech by Tony Seba that I recommend that everyone watch. Here is Tony explaining exponential technologies and Moore's Law.
What is an exponential technology? It's a technology that on a same cost basis improves on a double-digit, maybe triple-digit basis every year. So, for instance, the exponential technology we know best, computing. So Moore's Law has essentially, for decades, meant that for the same dollar, we get twice the computing power every 2 years. So computing power has doubled for the same dollar every 2 years.
Tony brings up Moore's Law, that every 2 years you get twice something, twice the product, twice the computing technology. But there are two ways of looking at this. So if every 2 years you get 2 times improvement, another way of looking at that is the same amount of improvement costs half as much. So there are two ways of doing that. And this is an important distinction when we're talking about Tesla in particular, because Tesla has Moore's Law growth in that there's twice as much improvement every 2 years, and they have Moore's Law growth in that anything that's not improving twice as much is half the price every 2 years. So that's why we're going to look at it the different ways. Let's look at Tesla's products, and let's discuss how these products have Moore's Law growth. Number one, the most obvious is the automobile sales. I believe that this is simply an indication that the machine that builds the machine, as Elon likes to say, is achieving Moore's Law growth. Let's take a look at automobile sales and see if Tesla has achieved Moore's Law growth over the past 5 years. I spoke about this the other day in episode 2, and let's take a look at that.
Ask them which one of you predicted that Tesla would go from 2,500 units delivered to 250,000 units delivered now. So in 5 years, Tesla's gone from 2,500 units delivered to 250,000 units delivered. So that is an insane growth rate. That is Moore's Law growth on steroids.
Okay, so I said it was Moore's Law growth on steroids. But what is Moore's Law growth? Let's say Tesla had in 2012 2,500 delivered cars. Moore's Law would mean that in 2014, 2 years later, they would sell 5,000 cars. And 2 years after that, in 2016, they would sell 10,000 cars. And 2 years after that, which is next year, they would sell 20,000 total cars. That is Moore's Law growth. They didn't sell 20,000 cars. They sold 250,000 cars. So that is Moore's Law growth times 10. But let's discuss what would happen if Tesla could continue improving at just a Moore's Law rate, not 10 times Moore's Law. Tony Seba.
Now, when you double every 2 years, over a decade, that's a 1,000 time improvement, right? Over 2 decades, it's a 1 million time improvement. Over 3 decades, it's a 1 billion time improvement. So,
all right, so let's take a look at that. Is Tesla going to be able to have a 1 billion time improvement over the next 30 years or 3 decades? I doubt it. But can they continue to improve the machine that makes the machine at a Moore's Law rate for the next 10 years? That would be a 1,000 time improvement. Would that mean that they would be able to sell 250 million vehicles? Probably not. So, even though I very much doubt that, Tesla is enjoying Moore's Law growth right now. So let's enjoy it while it lasts. So, if I think that Moore's Law growth is going to end for Tesla's vehicle product, how is Tesla going to catch up with Apple? Moore's Law, that's how. Tesla is also experiencing Moore's Law growth in many other of its industries. Lithium-ion batteries. As you can see in this article, Tesla battery researchers says they doubled the lifetime of batteries in Tesla's products 4 years ahead of time. That's right, Tesla set a 5-year goal to double the life cycles of every lithium-ion cell that they produce. They had a 5-year goal. They reached that goal in 1 year. So they didn't double the life of every cell in 2 years. They doubled the life of every cell in 1 year. That's Moore's Law growth times 2. As we discussed in yesterday's episode, the machine that makes the cells will be ramping up soon. I anticipate that once this happens, Tesla will achieve Moore's Law improvement again with its lithium-ion cells when Tesla achieves the world's best economies of scale when it comes to lithium-ion. I anticipate that the cost per cell will drop by 50% over the next 2 years because of the economies of scale that Tesla will reach with its 2170 cells. The 2170 cell is 21 millimeters in diameter and 70 millimeters long. It's about the size of my middle finger. So subscribe or I'll show it to you. The 2170 chemistry is 15% improved over the 18650, which is 18 millimeters in diameter and 65 millimeters long. It's about 15% larger than the 18650 as well. The 2170 will soon be in every Tesla product. The S, the X, the 3, the wall packs, the power packs, the Semi, the Y, the pickup truck, etc. So the economies of scale for the 2170 cell will be off the charts. Keep in mind, there are 7,000 to 8,000 of these cells in every S and X. Just think how many are in a power pack or how many will be in the Semi. Every single Semi they make. So, we'll see that Tesla is enjoying Moore's Law growth with many of its products. The machine that makes the machine, which is indicated by the automobile sales, their lithium-ion, we've already shown that they improved double the life cycle in 1 year. They are having Moore's Law growth with many of its products. And is that enough, really, for it to catch up with Apple? Nope. There's more. There's synergy. Synergy. These are improvements that happen in one of their products that then affects all the other products. So, as they improve their batteries, this improves the S, the X, the 3, the Semi, the wall pack, the power pack, etc. And the more EVs that Tesla sells, the more that Tesla can make Happy Meal deals, where you order number 1. Well, number 1 comes with a Model X, a wall pack, and maybe some solar shingles. Or Happy Meal number 2, which is a Model S and a wall pack and some solar panels instead of shingles. So they'll be able to have a synergy where you can buy their products together in a bundle. Also, Tesla has a synergy with its stores. No additional infrastructure will ever be necessary when they roll out a new product. When they release the Model Y, it'll go straight to the existing stores. They won't have to open up new stores. There will be no CapEx expenditures. So there's a synergy. Also, look at autopilot. What's the value of that? The software and the hardware. Well, take a look. What did Mobileye sell for? Big money. So autopilot is also having Moore's Law growth. The data that's coming in from all Tesla owners all the time to Tesla and is being crunched by their algorithm, a ton of data is being analyzed with deep learning or AI to be able to come up with a safer and better and better and better autopilot. Once the autopilot is done, then you have the synergy of their ride-sharing program where autonomous vehicles could pick you up and take you where you're going. And so there's a synergy that happens as they're working on their autopilot that's really going to affect their ride-sharing industry. And the ride-sharing industry is obviously going to have Moore's Law growth because right now it has 0 customers per day. And then it's going to just explode over the next few years. So all of these individual products that Tesla has stack on top of each other. The life cycle of growth and innovation might peak. It might not have Moore's Law forever, so it'll peak. But then that's where the next one piggybacks on top of that one, and on top of that one, and on top of that one. So the synergy of the individual products as a bundle is much greater than the sum of its parts. They are having Moore's Law growth, and they will have Moore's Law growth, I believe, and when you look at them as a big picture, over the next 10 years. So, that's still not enough to beat Apple. Not even close. We have to look at adoption rates. The adoption of these technologies must be fast and strong. These days, adoption rates are fastest than they've ever been in history. Speed of communication has spurred adoption rates. 500,000 people on the Model 3 waiting list was heretofore unheard of in the automotive industry. And GM and Ford and Jaguar and Porsche and Ferrari have never even come close. Not even close. They have no pre-orders practically, statistically speaking. It is an indication that Tesla's products have a fast and strong adoption rate. And this is what is going to fund Tesla's growth, which is going to take it to the next level and the next level and the next level. And Tesla is in an industry, an entire industry that is having an explosion right now. They actually caused it. The electric vehicle industry itself, in sales per year of units, is having Moore's Law growth as well. So the percentage of market share from year over year over year over year is growing at a Moore's Law rate. So even their industry is having Moore's Law growth, and Tesla is leading the way. Disruption on the automobile industry, power companies, trucking, possibly even railroads, ride sharing, and more industries is inevitable, as Tesla uses Moore's Law rate improvements to destroy every industry in its path. And I know that's a rough word, but look at what Amazon did. Just like Amazon, Tesla will take customers away in bunches and put long-standing companies out of business. We'll discuss disruption in a later video. Let's see what happened today. Tesla today did exactly what we thought. Jello on the plate, a lot of treading water, absolutely nothing. Basically opened and bounced around and closed. Basically what's happening, I think, is that shorts don't want to get caught with their shorts down. And longs are waiting to hear that Panasonic got its act together and is solving the Model 3 bottlenecks. So I really do think that the same thing's going to probably happen tomorrow. So that's my prediction. So thanks for tuning in. Make sure that you subscribe. And this is Deadshot Investor. Peace out.
Little bitch.